Are you trying to build an online business and you can't figure out why you can't scale, or why you're not growing, or why things just simply aren't working out for you? Today, I want to talk about some online business secrets that nobody's telling you and you haven't grasped them. And so it's hindering your growth and hindering your potential to go further and grow bigger and do great things. Okay, so the very first thing I want to tell you that no one is telling you is that there is value in your story. You have something that is unique to share with the world, and it's important for you to lean into that. That girl's thing may not be your thing. You may have something completely different that you can't even see, because sometimes we're blinded by the thing that we want it to be. Oftentimes when clients come to me, there's one or two things. They either have so many ideas, they want to do all the things and package it together in a brand and do that, or they have no idea what they want to do. And then sometimes, because they really can't figure it out, they choose something that's popular online, or that they see someone else having success in, and then they try to go with that when that's really not the thing. All the while, you're living in a tiny home in Tennessee on a farm, but you can't see the value in that because it's not as glamorous. But when I hear that, I'm like, girl, that's content for days. Do you hear me? Or for instance, you used to be 250 pounds and now you 192, and you don't want to share it because you feel embarrassed that you were that size. I want you to understand that there is value in what you do and what you've gone through in your life. No matter how unglamorous it seems, you can help somebody somewhere get through something and they will find value in it. Because truth be told, the comparison is hindering you. It is. I had to tell myself this exact same thing. So I've been doing this for a few years, and I thought and fully expected to be so much further than where I am right now in my brand, right? And I would look at other people and say, oh my gosh, they're growing so much bigger, or, you know, they're doing this and they're doing that. And I would kind of compare it to my own journey, when truthfully, their circumstances and their situation is so much different than mine, right? I want you to understand that people's life experiences completely affect their business or where they are now and things like that. If you don't have those same circumstances, you got to know that you're thinking about things differently, you're moving differently. There are things that in your life that maybe, you know, you're not ready for those moments. And I had to even learn this myself. A lot of the women that I admire or follow online, that I was looking up to their business, or still look up to their business, but was kind of comparing myself to, I had to realize that, Nakisha, these women don't have children, okay? Some of them are married, some of them are not, but I found this thing. I'm like, okay, they don't have kids. I have 4 whole children, very active children, might I add, that have lives that I have to manage, sports and all the activities and all the things, and I do PTA, and I have a life outside of my business, right? And I had to realize that circumstances and situations completely can affect what we're doing online and in this online space. So you can't be comparing your circumstance to somebody else's. And to be honest about it, I learned something else that was pivotal for me to kind of get over that moment too, that most of these people, this is not their first rodeo. This is not their first rodeo. And I'm like, here I am comparing my absolute first ever in my lifetime business, my absolute first blog, first YouTube channel, first just anything that I'm doing online. This is my first time doing it. I'm a first generation business owner. There is no one in my family that does this. And I'm comparing myself to people that, one of the girls who she said the other day in her video that she has had 5 YouTube channels before this one. Another one had channels before this one too, and has a career outside of this YouTube channel that helped her to get to where she needs to be. But I had to realize that, Nakisha, Their circumstances are different. Your growth is still amazing. Your business is still amazing, even if you're not moving at that pace. And two, this is your first rodeo. This is not their first rodeo. And actually, for three, they've been doing this for 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And here you are in year, 4 or 5? Don't be so hard on yourself. So long-winded rant to say, don't let comparison get in your head, because there's a lot of people out here doing this. And I know there are a lot of amazing people out here doing this. And oftentimes when we're not getting the growth or the results that we want, it's hard to not compare yourself sometimes. But I have found that when you just keep your blinders on and do your thing and push forward and stay authentic and stay true to what you are doing, that you have to know that your time will come. Your time is going to come. There are seasons. Sometimes you might have 1,000 subscribers and you might have that 1,000 subscribers for a year, but in year 2, you could blow up to 500,000 subscribers. Okay. So comparison is hindering you, and I don't want you to let it. The next secret that nobody is telling you is that you have to do what works for you. Listen, there are a lot of teeny boppers out here blowing up overnight on TikTok, okay? It is a fast-paced platform, honey. People expect for entertainment. People expect to be engaged. People expect you to show up on a regular basis and be great, okay? You have to give it all you have over there on TikTok. And I have realized that that's just not my thing, okay? And you have to know if that's your thing or if it's not. And it's okay if it's not. So it's so important for you to find your vibe and find what works for you when it comes to these platforms, when it comes to monetization methods, when it comes to everything out here, to be honest. If TikTok doesn't work for you, maybe YouTube will. Okay, if YouTube doesn't work for you, maybe a blog will. Maybe a blog won't even work for you. Maybe you will do great on LinkedIn. Okay, you have to figure out what works for you. And guess what that means? That means that trial and error is necessary. Okay, that you have to test things out. You have to not be afraid to get out here and do things to see if they're going to work for you. And when it comes to monetization being one of the biggest things, listen, you're gonna hear a bunch of people telling you a bunch of things, and that doesn't mean that none of them are wrong, okay? But digital products, they're amazing. I think digital products are amazing, but maybe that just doesn't work for you. Maybe it doesn't vibe with the type of person you are. Maybe you're more hands-on and you want to be active with your community and you want to sell, one-on-one services because you don't like digital products. Maybe a coaching program doesn't work for you. The point is, you have to find what works for you. And a lot of times these people are not telling you that they have tried many things before they found the thing, and they have you thinking that this is the only way when it's not. Okay, don't be afraid to get out here and really try things out and see what's going to work for you and your business and the thing that you're selling and your audience and what you're doing and how you're delivering it. All that matters. One thing that I have realized about me is I'm a very chill person, very much high energy and all that good stuff, but I don't like a phone in my face all day. I just don't like a phone in my face all day. So TikTok and Instagram and all those things, it's like they're cute and everything, but it's just like it takes away from my energy. And one of the biggest reasons I have not been on Instagram in the last 6 months, I think it is, it's because I realized that I'm so much happier without a phone in my face every day. For one, Instagram was on that silly stuff with this whole algorithm and stealing people's images and the scammers, and it just got crazy on Instagram for me. But I realized too that once I kind of stopped posting and A week went by, a month went by, 2 months went by, and my peace just grew and grew and grew and grew. I was like, I don't know, I'm kind of liking this, right? I miss connecting with y'all. I miss connecting with my people. And I keep saying, okay, next week I'm getting back on. Next week I'm getting back on. But I really don't miss the app. Let's keep it funky. I really wish YouTube would come up with a way that I can talk to y'all more. People don't really use stories over here. Stories and the DM was a great way to engage over there on Instagram. But yeah, I realized that I just don't like a phone in my face all day. So I like to stick to platforms that don't require me to do that, i.e. my blog and YouTube and Pinterest. Like, those have been the platforms that I kind of have been on that have been working for me without having the phone in my face all day. Next, you're doing too much, okay? You're trying to do too much at one time. What people are not telling you is that, yes, they have a blog, they have a YouTube channel, they're big on Instagram, their TikTok is popping, they're working with brands, they have digital products and all this stuff, but they didn't do it all at the same time, okay? You have to focus on things individually. If you want to start out with YouTube, you get that YouTube channel to a certain point and then you move on to another platform. And once you build that platform, then you move on to another one. Maybe you start with a digital product, then you move on to do courses. You cannot do them all at the same time. Trust me, you will be pulling your hair out and then you will not be as effective as you can be anyway if you focus your attention to that one thing. I know we want to do it all. I know there's money out here to be had, but trust me, when you focus in on 1 to 2 things at a time, you will be much more effective at it and much more successful, to be honest, at it. One thing that I realized is that, look, I can't be all the places, right? Let me go ahead and at least focus on these 2 things. And I began to make so much more money because of that effect. So don't try to do too much at one time. Focus in on 2 platforms at max at a time. Now, the caveat is unless you have a team. Now, if you have a team on the back end, which is another thing they're not telling you, that there is a team working for them, putting out content, doing these things, and you don't have a team, okay? But if you do have a team, then fine. You can focus on multiple platforms. Maybe you have a person that focuses on each platform in your business. Maybe you have one social media manager that does it all. But if you have help, then yes, great. But if you're just starting out and you're trying to build this business and you're trying to get that momentum, focus. Lock in, sis. Lock in on 1 to 2 platforms. Let them be your things. Focus on 1 to 2 monetization methods. Let those be your things and get good at that. Master that until you get to the point to where you're ready to move on or you're ready to hire people to help. And then your net worth is in your network. You need to be out here networking with people. This is a business that is so built on relationships, much like any other business. Relationships are important, okay? Yes, I do think you got to get out here and do the work in the beginning. It is not cute to be out here trying to, what do they call it? Cloud chase, or trying to just befriend people for the sake of what they can do for you. You need to get out here and show that you can build on your own. This is what nobody wants to tell you either. They just gonna ignore your messages and not respond back. But you need to get out here and build something first before you expect people to help you to do things, especially for free. Okay? Can I keep it funky? One of my biggest pet peeves is when people hop in my DM or my email and be like, can you help me do X, Y, and Z? And they have nothing. It's like I go and I see what they have done or if they've even tried or even started. It's like you're wasting my time. You're wasting my time, okay? You need to have something that I can work with and give you feedback on or something. You know what I'm saying? You got to get out here and begin to build for yourself. Put the work in. Make the effort. Go in and show people what you can do and how you can bring value to the partnership or the relationship. You have to do that because everybody want to take, and that's not how you build a network network out here. It's so important to build authentic relationships or join different Facebook groups or join coaching programs. But whatever you do, you have to network. It is so important. A great way to build a network online is to just genuinely follow people that you enjoy and follow people that you have things in common with, and begin to just organically, vibe with them, comment on their photos, say something under their YouTube videos, and they will begin to know who you are. Because I know the people that show up on my YouTube. I know the people that show up for me on Instagram. I know the people that support me with their dollars in my business. We begin to see that. And then when you begin to support people in that way, I'm not saying that you have to even purchase anything, but by commenting, sharing, subscribing, all that good stuff, and just showing that engagement with that person, then if you happen to reach out with something, or you want to collab, or you want to do something, they will know who you are and know you from your continuous support of their business, and then it makes things better. Not saying that you should support just for that reason, but it's a great way to kind of start to build a relationship with people. There's also coaching programs that you can get into. I've met some of my favorite online friends and best online friends in coaching programs, because in those spaces there are going to be like-minded people. You are going to connect with people who are out here trying to build exactly like you. They understand what you're going through, and it's just a vibe that way. So building your network is going to be essential for you to grow your online business. You can totally build without doing that, but so much more opportunity will come when you partner together with people. It is not necessary to be all super competitive with people. It's not. Things work so much better when you partner with people, even on the back end, when you have friendships, because especially as a content creator or influencer, you are going to not know things, right? And it's so important to have people that you can ask, hey, what rate did you offer them for this? Hey, how do I reach out to this person? It is so many benefits to building an online network of people that are familiar with you, and you're familiar with them, and you're adding value to the relationship, and they're adding value to the relationship, and together you can do so many more things. So those are the secrets that nobody's telling you about building your online business. Don't forget, I told you here. If you appreciate it, hit that thumbs up button for me, and then check out this video right here where I go in depth on the businesses that are booming in 2022, and I think you need to consider hopping on one of them. When we start out, we all want to be great from the beginning. We all want to get out here and we want to make all this money that these people are claiming that they're making, and we want our businesses to be big, and we want to work with brands, and we want to do all the things. But we have to understand that, for one, there's value in the journey, and the journey is absolutely necessary in order for you to get to where you want to go.